episode 11 of Married at First Sight. We got a lot of the same this week again. When you have a season where one couple has already called it quits, three couples are going absolutely nowhere, it gets pretty tough to fill even a shortened 90-minute episode. And for some reason, I keep coming back each and every week to talk about this absolutely atrocious season. Like, this has to be the worst season. It has to be the worst season. I can't think of a worse season. There's just nothing really intriguing about this show right now. Like, why are we tuning in? Like, at this point, Married at First Sight is more of an addiction than a pleasure in life, because we're not getting anything out of it. We just know that on Wednesday night, we got to be here to watch the show and talk about the show. But enough whining. Well, probably not enough whining. I'm probably going to do more whining in the video. But enough whining for the intro. Let's get into it. I got one thing to hit before we get into our couples, and that is enough with the grace, people. Everyone's talking about how they want grace or they need to give more grace. This is 8 weeks. We have an 8-week window. We are beyond the halfway point. We passed the 1-month anniversaries today, and 3 of our 4 couples aren't even showing the slightest bit of affection towards each other. Absolutely nothing. Stop with the grace. You need to push beyond whatever is holding you back, or admit that the relationship is over. And I think for the 3 couples I'm referring to, and you know who they are. I don't even have to say who they are. You know who they are. They are not going to be capable of pushing past any sort of boundary. And also, I don't think that any of them have much intention of saying yes on decision day. All right, let's get into our couples. We're going to start with Kirsten and Shaquille, and I know that I am on the unpopular side of opinions with this couple, and that is because I'm putting the blame for a lot of their issues on Shaq, and I will continue to do that. But let's talk about the 1-month anniversary. So Nicole and Chris, they went on a helicopter ride, and Kirsten and Shaquille, they went roller skating. I know that I shouldn't just be doing that comparison with these two, because none of the other couples did anything even close to a helicopter ride. But since these two were so close together in the episode, couldn't help but make that comparison in my head. And I just thought it was quite hilarious to see, fancy helicopter ride and roller skating. At that 1-month anniversary, they seemed like they both still had a positive outlook on their relationship, which really surprised me. I wasn't expecting that, but didn't last long. Shaquille immediately got defensive after Kirsten pointed out that they really haven't spent much quality time together. And after she laid that out, I really got thinking, you go back to the honeymoon. Honeymoon gets delayed for Shaq's work. We come back, we really haven't seen much of them together. It just feels like they're only together for the scripted scenes, and Shaq is more focused on his work than his relationship right now. And really, if he wants the relationship to work, which at this point I don't think he does, you got to put the time in right now. They're still getting to know each other, and if they're not willing to put that time in together, they're not going to get to know each other. And also with Shaq, I had a third point, I swear, did not write it down in my notes. But that quality time was just not happening. We even saw Shaquille, I believe it was last week, he said, what does he think the relationship needs? And he said time. And he clarified that by saying, not time together, just time. And it seemed so ridiculous to me. Like, he wants to break down all these walls that Kirsten is holding up, and he wants to push forward, and then he's not willing to be there to put the work in to accomplish those things. He just wants it done, and it's ridiculous. It's absurd, and it's very interesting to see how quickly Shaquille is starting to shut down once conversation even gets remotely real. You know, for the guy who seems to claim that he's so good at relationships and so much better at life than Kirsten, and better at every single aspect of being a human being. You know, the moment that there is a roadblock put in front of him, he swerves into the ditch real fast. And, you know, he's there, wants to call out Kirsten for not opening up. If that's the case, then quit slamming those doors that people are trying to open for you, Shaq. You know, she keeps stepping towards doing what he wants, and because she hasn't done it quick enough, he jumps all over her. He wants her to look like the bad guy in this relationship, and I'm not buying it, and I hope that everyone out there watching stops buying Shaq's BS here soon as well. You know, he just wants us to all know how amazing he is, but actually doesn't do anything to improve his situation. You know, what did we see Shaq do this week to actually improve or further their relationship? Absolutely nothing. We saw him complain that Kirsten wasn't opening up enough. Definitely not going to help advance that relationship. And I'm starting to feel like Shaquille's words and actions are no longer lining up. All right, let's move on from them. Let's throw a little bit of sunshine into the middle of the episode. We're not saving Nicole and Chris till the end. Let's get right into them right now. Our only couple that even remotely has a shot at saying yes on decision day and turning into a successful marriage is Nicole and Chris. We gotta talk about Nicole's dad. You know, he gives off the vibe that he is the reason that many of Nicole's relationships have not worked in the past. We got to see him spout off about how difficult relationships and marriages are, which usually to me is a sign that someone is not very well versed in what a healthy relationship looks like. I've preached this time and time again on this channel. Life can be difficult. Life can be tough. You know, you can be going through things at work. You can have events happen in your life that are difficult, that are challenges. A relationship is not one of those things. You know, I think that there's often a confusion between challenges in life and challenges in a relationship. Like, what is your challenge in your relationship? Like, oh no, I found a person that I love dearly and want to spend the rest of my life with, that at the end of every day I can't wait to go home and see them. That is so challenging. That is so difficult. No, it's not. Like, that is the easy, like, knowing that at the end of every day that I get to come home and see my wife, that I get to spend my night with my wife, is the easiest thing in my entire life by a long shot. All those challenges and difficulties, they come from elsewhere, not the relationship. It's not something I have to work at. It's not something that's difficult. It's not something that is this huge negative. You know, work is something I don't want to do. And my relationship with my wife is something I absolutely want to do. But yeah, when that comes out of Nicole's dad's mouth, immediately know that he's just not, he just does not know what a healthy relationship looks like. And he's giving off energy. You know, he was talking about certain types of energy, but he was giving off some energy that he repeatedly has gone out of his way to sabotage the relationships of his daughter. And maybe neither of them can see that, but I definitely got that impression from him. And, you know, right after he gave us the marriages are tough, relationships are tough nonsense, he followed that up with talking about Chris needing to be more of an alpha. And I think what we've seen from Nicole is that is exactly what she does not need. You know, she is a strong, outspoken, beautiful woman who needs love and support in her life. And probably one of those reasons that she needs that love and support, because my guess is that she didn't get it from her big bad alpha dad. They also definitely had the best 1 month anniversary out of anyone on the show. Got to go on the helicopter ride, and we're just going to have a little visitor here right quick. He is getting all primed up to jump on the computer, so he can just join us for a minute until he gets sick of wanting to be a YouTube star. See, there you go. He's over it. The little moment in his life, he thought, hey, making YouTube videos could be pretty cool. Changed his mind real quick. They got to go on the helicopter ride. It was beautiful. It was a nice gesture from Chris. I think it really shows that he wants Nicole to be happy and he wants to put a smile on her face. And I love seeing that on the show because we're not seeing that in any of our other couples. Moving on, the most dreaded part of the episode, Jasmine and Eris. I'm just starting to completely check out when Airris is on screen because I just don't need to have that man's BS inside my head. I don't need it. It doesn't make me a better person. It doesn't entertain me. It just has no meaning in my life whatsoever. You know, he is a pig. He's gross. I don't like anything about him at this point. And I'm just over this guy. I'm absolutely over this guy. And I feel like every single person watching is as well. Probably the highlight of the episode for these two was going to the world's worst rage room. Like, what was that? They got put inside a little plywood box with half of a pickup truck worth of stuff that they picked up at the dump for them to smash. Yeah, that was the world's worst rage room by a mile, and that was the highlight for these two. You know, they're a month in, not showing any level of affection towards each other and not really appearing like they're headed in that direction either. You know, and if you're a month into a relationship, I mean, not even married at first sight, like just a regular relationship, and you're not showing any affection towards that person whatsoever, probably not going to work out. So let's just close the door on these two and move on. We also got to hear Airris make some excuses. You know, he's starting to explain why he hasn't put the effort into the relationship. And it was just, I haven't put in the effort for the relationship because insert basic cliche, insert excuse, absolute BS. We don't need it. We don't want it. And then from there, he reverted back to just bringing up sex at points in time when he should not bring up sex. Yeah, as soon as he brings sex up, I'm good. On to the next scene. Even at the group dinner, yeah, Airris brings sex up once again. For the man who doesn't want to have sex with his wife, he sure is obsessed with sex, and I'm over it. Lastly, Gina and Clint, everyone's favorite pals for the season. You know, these two are really slowly becoming the best friendship we didn't even know we need. There's attraction? Nope. Romance? Hell no. But friend zone? Absolutely. Gina at one point says she can see a future with Clint. Yeah, maybe as neighbors in your apartment complex, which since you've apparently been living in the same building as each other for who knows how long and never once even considered talking to the other one. So that's always a good sign about knowing where this relationship is, where it's going, and where it's going to end. And you know what? We also learned step 1 in building a good relationship. Discuss eating the dog during the apocalypse. Yeah, no thank you. I'm out. As always, everybody, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, I'm out.